Welcome to the show, guys. NFL Week 5 recap, highlights, injuries for fantasy football 2021 right here, right now. Everything that happened from Week 5, I'm going to cover it from the Juju injury to Saquon Barkley. And we had a great week. Council Nation 16 rounders had a great week, from Herbert going off, Deontay Johnson, Najee Harris, all having great weeks. But I want to dive into some of the matchups I really enjoyed. Chargers and Browns, for example, and of course some of those key injuries that happened to some of your fantasy football studs. Everything, highlights for the week. Gonna dive into it. Super fun. If you're new to the channel, make sure you guys do hit that thumbs up and click subscribe. I go year round, so typically fantasy season is pretty much from it's pretty much all year, but I go from April to hardcore till October, helping you guys with the advice, September, October, and we talk waiver wires. But then in the off season, we try to get some interviews in here and gonna be talking about some news. So make sure you guys are subscribed to keep that football content year round, okay? You're gonna wanna know what's going on with the draft, everything. So make sure you guys subscribe, thumbs up, and head on over to manscaped.com, guys. Use promo code SHOWERLION. Amazing products, guys. Save 20% with Shower Lion. Fit and finish is amazing on their Lawnmower 4.0. That's what I use. Stay groomed, stay fresh, and treat yourself. Manscaped.com, promo code SHOWERLION, save 20%. All right, let's dive into this. Let's talk about some news notes, some injuries, some fantasy relevant stuff. Now, the latest breaking news when I woke up this morning is Juju is hurt with the shoulder. If you guys saw that, it was a low hit. Got his shoulder, he walked off injured. Now, some people say I'm congratulating injury. Listen, I'm not congratulating nothing. I just think he's got more time for TikTok now, which is great because that's what he loves more than football, because he does it better than football, and he does it more often than football, and he does it during football. So am I celebrating Juju's injury? No. All I'm saying is that now he's got more time to do what he loves, because he sucks, obviously, at doing football. So now he could do what he enjoys, TikTok. This is really, really good. So again, a lot of people harp on Juju for what he does. I think it's ridiculous. It's okay to build a side hustle and a brand, but when it interferes with what is the bread and butter of what you do, then you got a problem. That would be like me literally sitting through podcasts playing video games. That's not what I do. I'm here to deliver fantasy analysis and talk NFL news and analysis. Or it's like me, building Legos on set here or something like that. Maybe it's interesting. I don't know, but it's not what he focuses on, which is football. So he's out for the season. Hey, injuries happen, man. It is what it is. Now he's got more time for TikTok. Kadarius Toney now is facing a fine and basically could be suspended for throwing a punch in Week 5. Cowboys, Giants, always a rivalry there. It happens. Kadarius Toney not controlling his temper. Now, what I saw it real quickly with the Saquon Barkley injury, which we'll talk in a second. Saquon got hurt, and Kadarius kind of looked like he fell on him, but it wasn't him. It was actually that Saquon rolled his ankle, and I thought it was Kadarius Toney that did it initially. So I did this post saying Kadarius Toney injured Saquon. What's going on? Sure enough, at the end of the game there, he ends up punching somebody and gets suspended. So bad luck towards Kadarius Toney there after that post, clearly, but hopefully he overcomes the suspension, comes back, and contributes to the very banged up Giants, because we saw Daniel Jones go down too with injury. But the main focus right now is Saquon Barkley on that team. Again, he rolled his ankle, very swollen, right? Apparently, it's going to be a low-grade ankle sprain. Could be week to week. Probably going to miss Week 6, but should be good to go after that. Again, those are some of the injuries that I was kind of concerned about, during Week 5. Also, guys, Clyde Edwards-Helaire has a leg injury. I haven't seen the severity of it right now. He was out for the whole game. It looks serious. He was out punching the floor. He hasn't been crazy fantasy contributor anyways, if you guys are thinking fantasy for him. But again, it just sucks to see him hurt. He's the main guy there. And again, make sure for waiver wire Week 5, which we'll talk about tomorrow, make sure you consider picking up his backup, which is probably going to be who is it, Darrell Williams there? I don't even follow the Chiefs running game, never mind the backup. But yeah, there's some problems there with Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and that knee could be very serious, all right? So that's pretty much some of those injuries you should be focused on. By the way, Darrell Williams did actually carry the ball 5 times for 27 yards. He also caught 3 passes for 18 yards. So when he came in, didn't do anything fantastic, Darrell Williams. So just something to be aware of if you are picking up off the waiver wire, and make sure you guys do check that injury with Clyde Edwards-Helaire, right? So talking about some studs and sucks, man, let's talk about some guys that really did well. I'm going to go through all positions, so I'm not going to break it down by position. Justin Herbert absolutely crushed it. This is a guy that I was suggesting in all your leagues to grab Justin Herbert in and around round 5. Great value, and I said he'd outperform Pat Mahomes Sure enough, he is doing that. I mean, he crushed it. 42 points this past week, 4 touchdowns, 398 yards. And what a phenomenal game that was with the Browns and the Chargers. It was shot for shot. It looked like a heavyweight bout. Loved it. And again, Baker Mayfield looking pretty good. But again, a lot of that is predicated on their running game. Now you're saying, well, Joe, I got Nick Chubb. You know, you're wrong about Nick Chubb. Listen, Nick Chubb busted 2 weeks in a row the past 2 weeks, had a good week this week, but Kareem Hunt still outscored him. So at the end of the day, Nick Chubb could have had 50 points, but he only had 24 because, Kareem Hunt had like 25. Guys, at the end of the day, guys, I'm still not drafting Nick Chubb in the first round when I know Kareem Hunt is better. And Kareem Hunt has been better 3 weeks in a row, and he's scored in PPR last year, okay? So Herbert having a good game. Tom Brady bouncing back this week, having a good game. Devontae Adams having a good game, 37 points. Josh Allen beating the Chiefs, good game. Mike Williams coming off a terrible week 4, redeemed himself in week 5, having a great game. He had 36.5 fantasy points, 2 touchdowns, 165 receiving yards, showing that he is the number 1 wide receiver for Herbert. Herbert likes him, and there's no way around it. I know your Allen owners, Keenan Allen. Herbert likes Mike Williams. It looked like he had like some sort of injury with his ankle, came back into the game. Again, he has his share of injuries throughout the season. Is he going to stay healthy through the entire season? That's a big question. Austin Eckler having a good game, a guy that I was wrong about because I never saw him to be a workhorse running back. He was a backup to Melvin Gordon for years, got injured last year, kind of got banged up a little bit this year, shaken up, but always producing. It was in the one game in week 4, got back into the game, but he's good to go. He's been producing on a high level, finished 6th amongst fantasy points in PPR amongst all players this week, absolutely tearing it up, which is good for him. But I'm okay because I got Najee Harris, who's continuing to produce on a high level, who I trust more than Austin Eckler to finish the season. Remember, guys, this is a marathon, okay? This is not a sprint. It is a marathon. Things are going to change. We're going to see how it all falls in together. Myles Gaskin having a great week, okay? 31.9 points. Antonio Brown having a big game. This is why I stayed away from all Tampa Bay Buccaneers wide receivers, because it's 1 week Evans, 1 week Antonio Brown, 1 week Godwin. We don't know who the wide receiver 1 is. Antonio Brown, the beneficiary for fantasy football in NFL week 5, okay? And we're also talking NFL week 5 highlights. Again, Kadarius Toney had a good game, 29 points, but the highlight reel for NFL week 5 was the punch for Kadarius Toney. Everybody disregarding the 29.6 points that he had, okay? Other great mentions, Mike Evans, good game. Alvin Kamara, Jamar Chase, David Njoku having a big 27.9 PPR game because he had that big catch and run. Huge. Kyle Pitts had a breakout game, man. Congratulations, Kyle Pitts. Breakout game, having 26 points. Again, with Ridley out, Matt Ryan needed a target. It was an easy matchup. Is this going to continue? Playing the Jets, again, easy matchup, but Kyle Pitts, touchdown, 26 points, 119 yards. Great game, okay? Had the 9 receptions. Alexander Madison stepping in for the injured Dalvin Cook, who I told you to avoid. Alexander Madison having a good game, 26.3 points. Ezekiel Elliott, safe game with 25 points. Cortland Sutton bouncing back. Davis Mills coming back, having a good game for himself. For fantasy anyway, 24.68 points. Davis Mills on the board for fantasy. Nick Chubb, like I said, 24 points. Great game. He had a big run and a touchdown that inflated his numbers. If not, it would have been a massive, Kareem Hunt game again over him, okay? So a lot of good games. Trevor Lawrence, 21 points. Dawson Knox, another sleeper tight end that's been absolutely doing really, really well this week. Past couple weeks, actually, he's been doing pretty good. Let's talk about some guys that didn't do bad. Some of the studs and duds, studs and sucks here for the week. You should mention Travis Kelce, only 17 points. That's not bad. It's not a bit of a dud here. I'm trying to find a real dud here for you guys. I'm gonna have to scroll down here and take a look at this. But again, guys, when you are looking at your lineups, when you are looking at starts and sits, make sure you guys try to play your consistent players. Try to get your starters in. Sometimes people have bad games, which I'm about to show you guys right now, okay? So let me pull someone up here. DJ Moore, 8.8 points. I mean, this is a guy that everyone's going crazy about the past couple weeks. The number 1 target for Darnold had himself a bad week. Darren Waller, 8.5 points. This guy was drafted, second round? Darren Waller, crap the bed. Mike Gesicki, crap the bed, right? All guys that are supposed to be reliable. Derek Carr, who people were saying, oh, this guy is a reliable guy. He's really good. Derek Carr, crap the bed for fantasy. What did he have? 7.4 points. A.J. Brown, 6.8 points. This is a guy that was drafted in the second round. A.J. Brown, guys. I warned you, the targets will not be there for A.J. Brown. Approach with caution. And again, sure enough, he's been crapping the bed. Other guys, like I said, DJ Moore, we talked about Derek Carr. Allen Robinson, crapped the bed, 7.3 points. Who else is there here? Nelson Aguilar, not high expectations with him. A guy that I was high on, and I take crow for this. I eat crow for this one. 6 points. Adam Thielen, bad week. Again, Jefferson being the guy there. And again, he didn't get a touchdown, I believe. So that's one of the things that really inflates Thielen's numbers, right? Jalen Waddle, 5.3 points. Randall Cobb, I think he was off a big week the week before, the week after that. Before that, only 5 points, okay? So a lot of these guys that, Hawkinson, 4.2 points, right? Who else is there here? Odell Beckham Jr., 4 points. Jared Cook, 3.8. So there was a lot of duds this week, guys. Big names, big fantasy names, high investment names that people invested high in absolutely crapped the bed this week, okay? I can go on. Melvin Gordon had a crap game. We're starting to see more Javonte Williams, which is a good sign. Brandon Ayuk crapped the bed. We already know that. A lot of people were high on him. I had a Debo. I said, that's a mistake. CJ Uzomah, who had a good week the week before, 3.6 points. Devin Singletary crap in the bed. And on and on and on. I'm just trying to see if there's any other big name that I'm missing here. I think that's it, guys. In the comments below, let me know if I missed a name on people that really crapped the bed. And the game, let's talk about some of the games I liked here, okay? Let's dive into that. Browns and Chargers, what a good game. I mean, Chargers 47 points to 42 points. This was back to back. I think they combined for over, I don't even know, 1,000 plus receiving yards, something like it was ridiculous. I gotta look at the exact stats here. Let me see if I can pull that up. Man, it was like 12 touchdowns. The stats were ridiculous. So it was 301 passing yards for the Browns and 381 passing yards for the Chargers. 230 rushing yards for the Browns and 112, guys, for the Chargers. Total yards, listen to this, 531 for the Browns, 493 for the Chargers. Like I said, over 1,000 yards total. Total yardage, actually. Just an amazing game, and it just inflated my Justin Herbert card by like $1,000. So I'm a happy person. I'm going to hang on to the signed Justin Herbert card for as long as I can. I should have invested more in the Justin Herbert cards, and I was thinking about it. And for example, I wanted this Optic Holo card, and it was like $900 for the past like 4 or 5 months, and now it just jumped up to $1,700. You can't even get it for less than $1,700. I should have jumped on more of this cards. Kind of hesitated, bought a lot of Hurts cards, and hey, Hurts did well. Hurts actually ended up beating the Panthers 21-18. He's got some momentum, and I believe he's playing this Thursday night. So my Jalen Hurts cards could probably go up, hopefully. I think he's a stud. I think the team around him needs some work. So Eagles beating the Panthers 21-18. Titans beating the Jaguars 37-19. Bears, Nagy keeping his job as they beat the Raiders 2019. Now we're starting to see the Derek Carr that we're used to, right? Now, again, starting to get back to reality. Had a good kickoff to the year. Starting to come back down to reality. Talk about a couple other matchups that kind of stood out to me that I want to talk about. Again, the Falcons versus the Jets. We're trying to figure out if the Falcons are the real deal. They beat the Jets. The Jets are a crappy team, beat them 27-20. Is that going to continue? If they have some tough matchups, they got it in tough. But I think there's an offense there. They have some potential. Cornell Patterson stepping up. I watched that game. Kyle Pitts stepping up. It's going to be an interesting offense to watch, but they got to keep the points on the board. Steelers beating the Broncos. And again, Najee Harris having a good game against a tough rush defense. Again, tough defense. 27-19 Steelers. Good matchup. Fantasy relevant there, okay? And the beats being the Bills beating the Chiefs. There's something you got to look at. Are the Chiefs the same team? They're 2-3 right now. Something to watch. I think Chargers are the team to beat in the West there. Chargers, guys, I'm telling you, love Herbert this year, and I called it. Cowboys getting smoked. Again, the injuries obviously taking a toll. The Giants getting smoked by the Cowboys, I should say. Injuries taking a toll. Dak Prescott, 300-plus passing yards, 3 touchdowns. Dak looking like the real deal. 49ers and Cardinals. Cardinals still the undefeated team, 5-0. Are they the real deal? They look like it. Well, they're going to have some challenges up ahead. We're going to have to see the next couple matchups. But again, Cardinals 5-0, very, very impressive in that air raid offense. Again, guys, good week overall. We talked studs and duds a little bit. We talked about the matchups, some highlights. It was a good week. And if you guys are in fantasy, again, make sure you stay sharp on the waiver wire. I'll be doing a show on that tomorrow. I just wanted to talk a little bit about some of the craziness that happened. Again, the Kadarius punch, the injuries to Juju, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Saquon Barkley, ankle roll. There's been some craziness. The wild game with the Chargers and Browns. Those are kind of the highlights that stuck out for me. What was it that stuck out for you guys this past week? In the comments, let me know. Make sure you guys are following me on Instagram at Fantasy Football Counselor. Click subscribe, guys. And again, I got some really cool giveaways. Follow my story mode on Instagram. I'm out, guys. Thank you. NFL Week 5 highlights and recap and some injury talk here for you guys. Subscribe. I'm out. We'll talk soon.